Hi, my name is Abby Osborne, and this is my demonstrative speech on how to kick a soccer ball. Here's my audience. Okay, so would you like to learn how to play the world's most popular sport? Because that's what soccer is. It's played by more people around the world than any other sport, and by more than 7 million children in the United States alone. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of soccer, some of the basic rules, and also, finally, how to kick a soccer ball. I've been involved in soccer my entire life, and it's positively impacted me in a number of ways. It's taught me to be responsible and disciplined, and also helped me to earn new friendships. Soccer is not as respected in America as sports such as football, baseball, and basketball, but it's an intense and skillful sport that should be respected. Okay, some of the history of soccer. So 2,000 years ago, archaeological evidence shows that in China, a primitive version of the sport was played with a ball made out of hair and feathers, and also goals made out of bamboo. However, it was not found in written record until medieval times, and actually in the 14th century, soccer was banned in England for being too violent. The game took a major step in 1863 when the first football association was formed, because football is what soccer is referred to as in England and Europe. And from this association came something called the Cambridge Rules. And these rules basically put regulation and organization into the game, and it also toned down the violence that was a problem so many years earlier. There are actually 17 official laws of the game. And also, soccer became an Olympic sport in 1908. Some of the basic rules of soccer. Soccer is a sport played between two teams of 11 people. There are 10 field players and 1 goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the only person allowed to use their hands, and they're only allowed to use it in something called the penalty box, which is an 18-yard box around the goal. It extends 18 yards out and 18 yards to each side of the goal. The game lasts about 90 minutes, which includes 2 45-minute periods with a 10 to 15-minute halftime in between those. If 2 teams are tied after the 90 minutes, then they go into 2 15-minute overtime periods. And if they're still tied after these 15 minutes, then they go into penalty shots, which would be the best out of 5. Teams must wear shin guards and cleats at all times, and also matching uniforms in games. This is a basic shin guard, and this is a cleat. Soccer is played on a field ranging from 110 to 120 yards long and about 70 to 80 yards wide. Yellow and red cards are a disciplinary measure in soccer. Yellow cards can be given out from anything to a bad foul, to talking in the wrong way, to a referee, or disrespecting them. If one person gets 2 yellow cards in one game, they're given something called a red card, and they're immediately ejected from the game, and suspensions can incur following that game. Okay, some interesting facts about soccer. A single player can run up to 7 miles during a game, depending on their positions. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world. It's a month-long competition that takes place between national teams from all over the world, and it's played every 4 years in a different country. The highest scoring game took place in France, and the score was 149-0. And also, Didier Drogba, who is a famous soccer player, he actually played for Chelsea in England and for the national team of a country called Ivory Coast, which is a small country in Africa. And he's actually looked up to so much in that country that he stopped a civil war from occurring by pleading with both sides to put down the guns and stop the violence. Okay, so finally, how to kick a soccer ball. So, to start to kick a soccer ball, which is right here, you're going to put it on the ground, obviously, and take a few steps back. Then you're going to want to approach the ball and put your plant foot on the side of it. And your plant foot is the foot that you're not going to be kicking it with. And you want to make sure that your foot is pointed in the direction that you want the ball to go. And also you want your hips to be pointed in that direction because they will dictate ultimately where the ball goes. So with your kicking foot, you want to come through, and there's two separate ways that you can do this. If you're shooting a ball, you're going to want to make contact with the laces of your cleat, and if you're passing a ball, you want to make contact with the inside of your foot. So after you make contact with the ball, you're going to want to follow through with the leg that you kicked with. And when you're passing, you just want to follow through, but if you're actually shooting the ball, you want to get more power behind it, so you want to actually strike it with your laces and then land on your shooting foot. Some important things to remember: you should always keep your chest over the ball, because if you lean back, the ball is going to go in the air, and you want it to stay lower to the ground. Also, you want to make sure that you follow through. So, in conclusion, you want to always make sure that you follow through, you keep your chest over the ball, and you point your hips in the direction that you want the ball to go. So now you've learned a little bit about the history of soccer, the rules, and finally how to kick a soccer ball. So go out there and try it.